The Australian government has suffered a historic defeat in Parliament after the lower house voted for a measure allowing asylum seekers to access medical care. It marks the first time a government has lost a vote on major legislation in nearly 70 years and is a blow for Prime Minister Scott Morrison's Conservative minority government. Asylum seekers activists cheered in the Parliament building as the bill was passed by 75 votes to 74. While it has been backed by doctors, the government claims the bill may open loopholes that asylum seekers could exploit. Greg Navarro has more.
The last time a government lost a vote on the floor of the House here in Australia was in 1929. That's significant considering that Prime Minister Scott Morrison is facing an election in May and has been trailing in many polls recently to Labor leader and opposition leader Bill Shorten. The loss also clearly illustrates that the government here, Scott Morrison's government, certainly is in the minority. It does not have its majority anymore. Several crossbenchers decided to vote in favor of this bill, which will allow the medical transfer of asylum seekers being held in detention, offshore detention, on Manus Island and Nauru. Now, there was a possibility that this election would basically trigger a vote of no confidence. However, those crossbenchers said they had no intention of doing that. They wanted to see the government finish its current term. As far as Scott Morrison's reaction, he was not happy. In fact, he was very angry. He was warning people that allowing people to be brought to Australia, those asylum seekers that he worked so hard to keep from coming here, will encourage people smugglers as well as result in deaths at sea, people trying to reach this country illegally by boat by encouraging more people. The bill now heads to the Senate with some minor changes and eventually is expected to pass. Greg Navarro, CGTN, Sydney.